Hey everyone, I'm Humberto Sabito, and this is Life Talk, where we connect you with the hottest talent here in San Diego. And this is our very first episode. And I'd like to take this time to talk to you guys a little bit about Anthony
Reynoso.
And we're going to talk about Airborne
Apparel.
"30-second smile, fastest brush in the West, and everywhere else for that matter." Go ahead, make your day. Click the link.
So we're here with Anthony today, and he's going to talk a little bit about how he started in this industry, and talk a little bit about his industry and what he does to contribute to San Diego.
Yeah, I started quite a bit, like almost 2 years now, going on 3 years now with my clothing line called Airborne Apparel. And it's something about fashion that just always been really into. Just, I think when I was a little kid, my dad kind of instilled that into me. I'd always see him clean cut, smooth creases everywhere.
Yeah, man.
So it's instilled in me about fashion. So when I had the opportunity to not only learn about art, but learn about fashion, it was such a humbling thing to see where not only I can make something of my own and wear it, but help people make them feel good. And that was one thing I've been noticing about my brand that stands out from everybody else. So you really get that genuine feeling that I put my time to this, and the feedback that I get is I really love that everything that I get from you fits how you say it's gonna fit, feels how it's gonna describe it's gonna fit. And that's the biggest thing we take away. Because one thing I learned, especially being in sales and coming back into kind of incorporating into fashion, was people don't care about low price, they care about low value. So if I could just be in that tier of competing with people like Walmart or competing with other companies like H&M who have some good quality clothing, top brand stuff you don't really see, but it's kind of marketing a little bit down sometimes, where you see, I think I went in the other day and I bought a shirt, I needed a black shirt. It was like $6. So the whole niche is trying to fit into there where I don't lose the value, but I can compete against them. And that was the biggest thing that I've been trying to do. And one of the motivations for getting that name, because people ask me where I got the name Airborne Apparel. My brother actually helped me out with that. He was just telling me one day, because I told my vision of what I wanted to do. I had the resources, it was too easy. I made the website myself, I made the logo myself. I got a little bit of help down the road to tweak a little bit, but everything was still my own vision.
All right, so I met Anthony a while back at the Art Institute of San Diego, the Art Institute of California, and since he graduated, man, I've been following him a little bit. I've seen some of his clothing line, and I'm just blown away at how much of an entrepreneur, someone I look up to a little bit. Don't let that get to your head. But as you guys already know, I'm starting my own company as well, and it's been a great experience following this gentleman right here, and he's going to talk a little bit about where this all started at, and this has been a great little mission for Life Nation and for Life Talk, and this being our first episode and all, to have the opportunity to talk to somebody that's actually successful, who has done this for some time now.
When I started here, it's always been like this was my dream school when I first came here, and art's always been a passion of mine. But I'm always such an optimistic, but I'm real at the same time. Unless you're the next Michelangelo or the next, amazing artist, it's hard being a fine artist, or if you're gonna do tattooing and become really good, to make a living. So I saw commercial art. I still remember the presentation when it happened. So when they came to my school, Escondido High School, where I went to, I fell in love with the school. I did my time in the military, and I came back and I was like, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use my GI Bill. I'm going to that school. Mostly because a lot of people said I couldn't do it, but came here, and about The first year or so it was a little bit hard, transitioning, going straight from military to school life. It was a little bit hard. I'm pretty sure you've been there.
Yeah, I had that same experience right here, and it's a funny story. It's the same kind of thing. I was 16, I saw the presentation, and I was like, yes, how am I going to pay for this? Join the military.
It's one of the best things, man. I learned so much. It humbled me so much. It matured me. It put me in real good perspective of where I want to be in life. But going back to it was going on like my second year of school, and I'd seen this building of social media. Like I really saw social media really just blowing up.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things that I remember, I met Randall, the owner of LYFETALK, who kind of inspired me to do the whole clothing thing even more. I met him a while ago. It was just a brief, hey man, I love what you do. Congratulations, you're amazing. And this is the time where Randall was like still kind of almost slinging out of his car.
Okay.
It was getting known, but it wasn't to the point where it is now. You talk about LYFETALK, everybody almost knows about LYFETALK.
True that.
It's just a big brand. And I really saw his niche and how he did it in his story. And I told myself like, well, if that's where Randall started, being almost self-taught, which coming here gave me all the resources of learning how to market well, learning how to do graphic design,
Exactly.
building websites. If I could get all that, I knew I had the tools. It'd been a good while. I had a good taste and everything. So I was like, you know what? The biggest thing I learned was just taking that risk. I kind of took that risk. I put my name out there. I put my money down, and lucky enough, within the first month of starting everything, I created Airborne Apparel, and I wanted it not to be solely fitness related because I saw down the road that eventually it's going to die down.
Yeah.
The fitness, it's nothing wrong with it. Of course, if there's just only fitness kind of brands, only downside, people go other places besides just the gym.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make really a lifestyle brand,
Right.
where you can wear it to the gym, where you can wear it outdoors, where you can wear it to a party, you can wear it to a high-end club. I really wanted to hit that niche, but be affordable. That was the biggest thing. So many companies say they're affordable, but then you start looking, you were like 20, 25 bucks.
Yeah.
3 years later, how'd you go from like 25 bucks of a t-shirt or like a certain type of t-shirt, and all of a sudden now you're 50 bucks?
Yeah.
Like,
so basically what you're trying to say is that you're not about the money. You're about helping people rep their image, be comfortable in what they're wearing.
Of course.
And not break the bank. And I think a lot of people appreciate that, that mentality of wanting to help people, because that's what we need more of, people that want to help, And the fact that he's going into fashion to do it, that's great, because I would love to wear a suit every day if I could. But money.
Same way, man.
Money talks, and I don't have that affordability.
What brought it really so much more to fashion was kind of going back into the niche of looking at the 60s and 50s, where the normal clothing was a suit.
Exactly.
Your casual clothing was you took the coat off and you're in a vest and a button up. That was your casual clothing. So I kind of wanted to bring back that. Yes, it may be casual clothing, but it's so simple and elegant that you don't think you're wearing almost like a designer tee. You're not thinking you're wearing a different type of mesh of hoodie or something like that.
Exactly.
You're wearing what you're comfortable in.
Yeah.
And if you look back at history and pictures, that's exactly what everybody was so used to. And that's one of the main reasons people ask me was the whole motivation. I love fashion and I love art. And yes, I am a graphic designer, but I always consider myself a designer just because I try to hit every niche. I try to hit fashion, I try to hit graphic design, web design, advertising. Even though I may not be the expert in everything, I know enough to the point where I've ever had a client talking, where it be freelance or anything. There have been times where like, we kind of need more just advertising. Oh, okay, cool. I own a business for that.
Yeah.
So my whole thing that I took away from being at this school, there's so much talent at school, and I always tell people the biggest important thing about school that it taught me is making that connection.
Exactly.
Making that connection, because I had no idea you guys did this. That's one thing that I never even knew. When I met Albert, that was one thing I didn't even know as well. Like, we kind of connected in the easiest way. I left my business card right there, he talked to me, and we connected. It was such a great connection that you've made, and the connection that I've made here, it may start off small, like, hey man, can I use you for a photo shoot? Or, hey brother, can I use you for this or this? It's kind of like I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Exactly.
And then down the road, the next thing you know, either or whoever blows up, it just brings you humbling wise where it kind of all started.
Yeah.
And that's one of the craziest things I've noticed about this. But going to the whole thing. A lot of people ask because I do have a normal 9-to-5 job, which I work at 24 Hour Fitness. But besides that, I do that for a reason, because the biggest thing that people always try to tell me is, man, you got some cojones to, start your brand out there, own 2 companies, have a building that you actually have a location in. Yeah. Go to a 9-to-5, do everything that you do, and still try to do it. There's been hard times, bro. The first month of me being with my Airborne Apparel company, dude, when it first went live, I made about $4,000 within not even the first day, because my military brothers like.
Oh yeah, okay. Never mind. I understand that.
So I hit the mesh right there. Yeah. But that was the biggest thing I tried to convey. So if you ever see my first original logo, it changed so much from what it is now.
Yeah, I've seen your logo change up quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
I just said that the other day.
The reason for that is because everybody's like, oh, it's a military brand, which I don't mind. I love my brothers, and I will die to the day. I will always call them my brothers, and that being a military member as well.
Exactly.
Those brothers are with you until the day you die. But I wanted to hit every brand. I wanted to hit every person. I want to hit, to the mom and pops, to the kids, to the teenagers. Yeah. I don't want people to just be like, oh, it's just a military brand. There's nothing wrong with that. But I hate being segregated and being classified as one thing.
I know exactly how that feels, man. And that's why it's great that we make these connections now while we're still young.
Yeah.
And the art industry, we should be treating each other like family, really. I mean, like you said, you wash my, scratch his back, you scratch my back. We just take care of each other, and that's why I say, this is what Life Talk is about. So if you need a trustworthy person to find, good connections, or someone that you need someone to help you with like graphic design, or you maybe want to up your fashion a little bit, this is a gentleman to go to. But yeah, like I was saying, having that culture, I'd like to know a little bit more about that culture, how you came about. You spoke a little bit about your dad, but I want to know, like, okay, what's your backstory? How did you come to this conclusion solidly? Like, oh, I want to do this, and this is the reason why I did it.
Ooh, okay, it's a good one. Culture-wise, just to break it down, if you can't tell, I am Hispanic. My mom's from Mexico, from Jalisco. My dad was born in San Diego, so I'm a mixture of Mexican-American, not full Mexican, because I was born here. I live in Escondido, California, so I usually drive about, every time I was coming to school, it would be about like a 30-40 minute drive. But yeah, I was born and raised in...
Let's back it up. Let's tell them what kind of ride you drive.
350Z, Nissan 350Z.
All right, now we can wind back. Just so you guys know, Life taught this man. This is somebody we just brought off of the street. We may continue, please.
So growing up, like you said, my father kind of really instilled that to me. One thing that really helped me with the military was the way my dad raised me. My dad, typical Hispanic, not too sure how typical, like I think it runs in the kind of your kind of culture as well. But
we're Creole. My family's from Belize, so like yeah, we're right by Guatemala and Honduras. So yeah, we have basically the same, it's the same culture. It's just different food.
The whole like strict, not super strict, but strict upbringings in the sense where I learned from a very, very, very young age. You know, hard work will eventually get you where you want to be, and that's something that I really saw with my father.
Yeah.
This is a man who I would always see every morning, you know, wake up at 3 in the morning just to go to his job and come back at 5, so he would have time with his children and do everything. But now until I got older did I really appreciate what he really did.
Yeah.
You know, you're young, you're always a knucklehead, you
Yeah.
always, you know, you look back at pops and moms and you're like, you know, at that time you're like, whatever, it's nothing. But then you look back as you're mature and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
So
I definitely relate to that for sure, because both parents up early in the morning. I remember times I had to basically raise myself a little bit.
yeah.
They're like, this is what we expect from you. You want the house clean. You want to make sure you're not in trouble. Make sure you eat. So I learned how to cook, learn how to clean. Same culture, yeah.
It's you know, he hit it right there in the knot. You know, the whole discipline of showing you that hard work. And people kind of say, you know, what you do as a parent with your kid. People think, you know, the kid may not be watching, but everything you do in front of that kid is so influential. So if my dad was a certain way, like if he was just, you know, just a rude person, you know, treated everybody a horrible way, then that unintentionally would give me those habits as well.
Yeah, I know.
Creature of habits is what they say.
Exactly.
You know?
I was about to say that too. I was like, yeah.
So really seeing that from not only just from my father, but from my mother as well. My dad taught me at an early age. And I mention my dad a lot because me and my dad, if I were to bring you a picture of my dad, it's crazy how I'm so much, even though I'm the second kid, I'm the middle child.
Yeah.
You know, 3 siblings, so it's me, it's my brother, myself, and my older sister. And I look exactly like my father. Spitting image of my father. The only thing I lack is like the mustache that he has. But spitting image of my father.
It's the draw of being the second child. You get less. And there has to be one thing that you want too. It's the mustache.
Yeah, it always is. It always is. But you know, instilling that, like, I'm so grateful for everything after looking back. That, especially going, you know, in the military and going to war and everything. One thing that made this easy for me to get that brand starting was being so humbled that to be somewhere here doing this interview, going compared to like a third world country where I was stationed to for 7 months.
I know how that is too.
It's crazy, you know. We're doing this, yes, for this event, but at the same time you're thinking about other people are trying to live. Other people don't have this. Other people don't even have a place to live. So if I could help somebody, that's really kind of what pushed it. My first initiation with the brand was being able to, and it still does, a proceed of everything that I make goes to military families. It goes to military people in need. There's a lot of times where I'll go down and I'll have extra shirts that I know can be sold, but instead of selling them where it's a profit, I'd rather just give them away. Because I see a lot of military people there, and that's a downside. That's one thing that I've always wanted to do, not only with 24 Hour Fitness, but where I work at right now, do my clothing and my agency, is really helping a lot of military people and a lot of people in need. Because there's so many people that I've noticed, like at the school, who have that opportunity but just never get that chance. So much talent at not only this school but around the world that it's that kind of little cliche that Les Brown, a motivational speaker, kind of said once, where, you know, the most richest place you'll go is not like at the Fortune 500 company, it's not at the bank. The most richest place you'll go is the grave. And people say, why? Because you have all the dead dreams of people who never went and did what they wanted to do because they were scared. I saw my father and I saw my mother, and I just hearing that, I'm like, wow. I'm like, I don't care how long it takes, how much money I have to put into it, because people don't realize that when you do start a company, you have to put money into it.
A lot of it.
Unfortunately.
A lot of it.
You know, people would say, why don't you get a small business loan? I'm in the essence of where I do have to make a profit, of course. I do want to make a profit.
Exactly.
But I want to be able to help people so much that I don't want to owe a bank that's in it just for money.
Yeah.
Especially because this is growing so good. I don't want them to be where I'm at 20 years from now and like, oh, it's one of our greatest clients ever. Thank God we took a chance on them.
Yeah.
I understand the help of it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'd rather do it how I'm doing it.
It's the meaning behind it, and I
Exactly.
can appreciate that, and I'm liking this interview more because it's like we have similarities, and I appreciate that, and that's exactly what Life Nation wants to do too. We really want to help not only the veterans but just homeless people in general, because if you're doing stuff just to make money, then you're in the wrong business.
You're never gonna go far.
You're not gonna go far.
Never gonna go far.
Exactly. Next thing that we're going to be talking about now is I'd like to know about where can we find your products, you know? Can we have the opportunity to see some of these items
Yeah,
too,
of course,
you know?
of course, man. I did bring some of my products in, but where you can go shopping is www.airborne-apparel.com. You can go check out my IG of Airborne Apparel. The link's right there in the description. You can check out my IG, my personal IG, Anthony.Reynoso, right there in the description, right there in the IG profile. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on, I'll post every now and then on my Snapchat, both accounts on Snapchat. Working a little bit with Twitch. Twitch is a little bit kind of new social media kind of thing where it's just more live kind of videos. I messed around with it a little bit, but I'm always trying to see the biggest thing. Twitter, not the biggest Twitter person.
Yeah, I'm not feeling Twitter neither.
So
sometimes.
I haven't made a Twitter one yet, but that's the biggest thing that I want to do. And people always ask me, oh, you just kept it, you're so simple. I was like, yeah, I would just want, type it in and it's me.
And if you guys didn't, you said those links a little too fast, they're all in the description, so you can just go directly, find exactly what he's talking about and be able to connect with him and get his contact information all in the description. Make sure you like and subscribe. We appreciate your time here. But before we go, I would like to know, what's the next step, man? What's the next step into it for you?
Oh, wow. So much good things happening. I just signed up 4 new athletes that I sponsor. That's one of the biggest things. I've had the opportunity where people, have reached out like, dude, I love your brand. I love what you do. I love your culture and everything you represent. I want to be part of the team. At that moment, when people would approach me, it was just, I wanted to make sure everything was so perfect, being such perfectionist when it comes to clothing and my brand that I want to represent. I was a little hesitant, but now I'm at the point where I know exactly what I want to do. I know what to portray. And the biggest thing people kind of tell me is, what do you ask for people? I don't ask for money or none of that, no. I don't even ask for promotion when it comes to like sponsoring people. I just help people out.
Right.
They like my clothing? Too easy. I'll help you out like a couple items every month.
And that's what we're about to take a look at right now. And this is going to be cool. So hold on one second. You're about to see it real quick. In this part of the show, we're going to go ahead and show you some of his designs and have our model come in afterwards.
So what we got right here is kind of like one of our more generic kind of t-shirts that we have, just a tank top. One of the biggest compliments I always get for at least the male's tank top is how well it fits you. One of the biggest things that I try to take away, so this was at first just kind of generic tank top you could get anywhere, but I had each one of them kind of sewed to the point where it kind of fits your chest area a little bit better for the guys. So the biggest thing that I always had complaints on when it came to tank tops was that it was just too loose on them. They wanted kind of a more form-fitting.
Yeah.
So at top it's going to be your most form-fitting, but right here it's going to be nice and loose, just like how you want a tank top. It's not going to be too hugging on you, no matter the size, whether you're small, medium, large, extra large, and actually go up to 2X. That's one of the biggest things I wanted to do. We do have different variations, different colors, different fonts on it, depending on the season and weather. But it's just one of kind of first things we kind of did.
Go ahead and tell us a little bit about what kind of material this is, because this feels really nice. This is a sturdy material for sure.
It's just really it was just a generic kind of next level kind of tank top, but what I did, I just went in there and hemmed everything else, each one of them. So I'd get each one design and kind of go to a seamstress and just have her literally hem each area where they wanted to. So I'd have a certain measurements that I would kind of fit the area, so no matter the build of the person, it will still fit them good.
Okay, nice. And thanks again for explaining to us how you made this material, man. It's really nice.
Of course, thank you.
I think the next thing that we need to show them though is the other outfit that I saw earlier. I think we should bring in our female model to show off your feminine side, if you will.
That's actually one of our biggest needs. So yeah, here we have. This is our beautiful model.
Shanasta.
Thank you so much again for doing this for us.
Yes, we really appreciate it.
So pretty much what we have here is we have original flight jackets. So back in the days, really in the 50s, 60s, even 70s, this flight jacket was one of the original jackets that you actually saw around in the market. A little bit harder to get by and make the material again. One of the biggest things I wanted to do is, whether it be spring, especially in San Diego, where it can be hot during the day, then at night it's cool. So I wanted to get that material where no matter what time of the weather you could be wearing it. It's good for rain, it's good for any time of the weather.
I like flight jackets, man.
Thank you, man, thank you. That was one of the biggest things. The comfort thing was one of the biggest things I wanted to get down. I saw a lot of flight jackets or wannabe flight jackets that they were looking good, but when it came down to the material, it ripped easily, it wouldn't last long, it wasn't comfortable. That was the biggest thing. The biggest compliments I've gotten about this, the look of it, the feel of it, how it fits the body, how comfortable it is, and how sturdy it is too. That was one of the biggest things. And the next thing, you can just take that off if you want to.
Yeah, I saw that she has one of these shirts on.
Yeah. So the next thing would just be pretty much, I can hold that for you, is just,
before she tries to take it.
T-shirts, you know, summer here in San Diego, really, really hot at times. So I wanted to give just a real relaxed kind of t-shirt that you can wear no matter what time of the day, at night, just to sleep in. Just a comfortable, real elegant kind of, with the brand on there right there, just simple and elegant. Just something that she can wear no matter what time of the day, time of the year.
So how does it feel? Does it feel comfortable? Is it?
Yeah, it's really light.
Okay.
It comes to like a nice length, because sometimes I like my t-shirts to come like right here. They don't really make this for like a really fitted shape. So I mean, I feel very comfortable.
Okay, cool. Get some real talk, real life talk right here. This wasn't scripted. This is a real thing.
Literally just, we had to ask somebody right now, and he actually just found her.
Yeah. I was like, hey, you.
Yep.
You. She's hired. Thank you again so much. We really
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
it.
Vanessa.
Thank you. And your clothing is very comfortable.
Thank you, thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So yeah, I just want to say thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming out and doing this.
My pleasure, man. Thank you, though.
Yeah,
Thank you.
especially for the first episode to have someone with your potential and the what you've done so far with your life. It's amazing, man. I really appreciate the time and the effort that you put in. Yeah, once again, you can find all of us links in our description. You can find us on our YouTube channel, and you can also find us on LYFETALK.com. Which will also give you a link to finding his clothing line and whatever other services that he provides as well. And also, if anybody else wants to be on the show, you can go ahead and contact us through LifeNation, and you can be on the show if you want to. It's free, and we'd like to have you on the show anytime. And we'll have a show every week around the same time. We'll put it up, so stay tuned. And thank you for everybody who's watched today. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to sit down with us and talk about Anthony's amazing journey that he's taken so far. And I'm telling you, this guy's gonna go far.
Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you guys.